Hello there, welcome back to my channel, Architectural Due Diligence. Take a minute to be able to subscribe to my channel, and also request you as you come to the end of this video, take a moment to be able to comment and be able to even put ideas or suggestion of topics that you may want us to carry out. So today I'm going to share about what I'm calling planning due diligence. It's basically part of the larger due diligence processes. And here we are going to look at different components of zoning, what we are calling zoning. We have land use, development controls, and be able to look at factors that would affect those kind of planning aspects. And before you carry out any project, it's critical to get a consultant, to get your planner, to get your surveyor, even an architect, to be able to advise you on this planning due diligence. Because any kind of a project that you may want to carry, basically there will be a planning aspect, so that you don't end up doing a project, designing your project, and then at the point of compliance or approval, you are told it doesn't meet the planning guidelines or the planning or the zoning guidelines. So the first aspect is to look at the zoning as part of the due diligence. Zoning basically is how various neighborhoods are classified. May it be an agricultural neighborhood, may it be a commercial neighborhood, may it be a town center, may it be a city, a market. All these are basically the components of zoning. And below the level, these are things done by the county government, so that they're able to define various kind of zoning. And zoning, within zoning is now where you have the land use. And here land use, we'll be looking at various uses of a particular piece of land. Of course, the most basic use is the agriculture, which was the most initial land use in most part of the Kenya. And for you to be able to change a land use from agriculture to another use, it means you must carry out a process that we call a change of use or an extension of use, so that at least the new use can be applicable even before you do a project. Yeah, so zoning basically is a constitutional process under the Physical Planning Act, and it's good to check the zone that you belong to even as you carry out a project. Then on the land use, as I've said, you need to carry out a change of use if the use that you want to apply on a particular ground is not of the use that you want to do. Let's, for example, today you want to carry out a residential project, and the land that you bought or the land that you own is basically an agricultural land. It means that you need to carry out a change of use or an extension of use, and this can only be done by a planner, a surveyor, or through the architect. All these consultants will come together and be able to carry out that process. So that at least once you do the change of use, your drawings now can be approved at the county government. So basically, this is a process that will carry out at the county government. And what are some of the land use examples? Here you have residential neighborhood land use, we have industrial use, we have commercial use, we have mixed use, we have what we call public in nature. In terms of institution, you have the schools, you have hospitals, all these manner of things that you talk about a project. All those are uses in terms of land use. Then I also move into what I call development controls. Development controls are basically rules and bylaws that put across by the county government to be able to make sure that you meet particular guidelines as you do construction. So before you carry out any project, it's good to make sure that your planner, your architect, has actually checked on these development controls, because they'll affect how your building shall look like and how big or small a building should be. Because let's say if you're putting up a maisonette in a 50 by 100 plot, it means that the law may require you not to do it more than 100% coverage. It may require you maybe to do it up to 50%. You may need to have some setbacks. You may need to have some greeneries within that site. So as your architect does that process, you may need to have carried out a due diligence, so that even as you do the design work, the architect is able to meet all these processes, so that he's able to provide a proper coverage for that building, is able to provide a proper setback for that building and also the greening area. If actually you're also doing an industrial area, there are things that you need to meet. So before you do that industrial park, you must check on the development controls in terms of drainage, in terms of disposing any harmful or hazardous waste. So these are things that you need to look at your local authorities, so at least you're able to establish what are some of the things or the basic guidelines that you need to meet before you actually put up a building. Even at a simple level of what I would call land subdivision, it is important to make sure that you do proper due diligence, because as you do land subdivision, different areas have different requirements in terms of the sizes that you can do. There's some areas that you only be required to do up to 1/8. There's some areas that you'll be required to do up to 1/4. If you go to a place like Karengata in Nairobi, I believe the minimum size is a half. A place like Runda, a minimum size is a 1/4. So you may need to check through your planner what size of a piece of land that you can subdivide your land into, so that at least you don't do a master plan, you do a subdivision scheme, then you go to the county, and then you can't actually get approvals done. And then the other aspect of due diligence that you need to carry out within that process of development controls is to check what are some of the things that you are required to surrender, because as per now, the county requires you to, if you have a big chunk of land and you're doing subdivision, you need to provide some amenities for the public, maybe a place for a playground, a place for shop, for a dispensary, a place for a police post. So these are things that you need to have checked, so that even as you do your master plan or you do a subdivision, you know what are some of the things that you need to provide for. So it is critical, it is important, even as you do these things in your office, get proper paperwork, buy some map from Survey of Kenya, buy some of these documentation. Actually now they are online, you're able to establish what are some of these simple guidelines. Even before your surveyor comes, you're able to know, in this neighborhood, I need to do 1, 2, 3. So karibu sana to my channel, Architectural Diligence. Take a minute to be able to like the page, follow the channel, so that is we're able to make more materials. Asante sana.